In this next training video for Dawn, a free online toolkit for corn producers, you'll learn how to use the Growing Degree Days or GDD tool. This tool can help you explore predicted maturity dates for different corn hybrids based on your location and seasonal temperature and precipitation forecasts. Farmers can use this tool to support important decisions, including harvest planning, marketing decisions, and hybrid maturity selection. To use this tool, you'll need to go to the Dawn website at dawn.umd.edu and log into your account. See other videos in this series for more instructions on setting up your account and fields if needed. You can find the GDD tool on the dashboard homepage or in the Tools drop-down menu. If you have more than one operation, make sure to choose the right operation in the Operation drop-down menu. Once you have accessed the tool, you can first choose your field in the Field drop-down. In this example, we have a single test field added to this operation. You can then select your climate forecast. Dawn's toolkit uniquely offers the CWARF climate forecast, which is a regional forecast customized to the U.S. Corn Belt. The toolkit also offers the NOAA climate forecast, which is the traditional global forecast. You can toggle between these forecasts and see how they compare. You then select your crop, although at this time Dawn only supports corn. You can then select your planting date. In Champaign, where this operation is located, we were late with planting due to wet weather, but most corn was in these last couple weeks of May. I'm going to select May 24th. Next, you'll choose between relative maturity and GDDs. Both relative maturity and GDD are predictions of how long it will take a particular hybrid to reach maturity. RM, or relative maturity, is a relative measure of hybrid maturity, while GDD offers a precise method to track heat accumulation and predict crop developmental stages. In this case, many farmers are more familiar with the relative maturity of their corn. In Champaign, 110 to 115 is pretty standard. So we will select 115 relative maturity, or RM, for our hybrid. These are the required steps to generate your forecast. However, there are optional selections if you want your forecast to include more data. Sometimes farmers have a sense that the current year is similar to another year they remember. The comparison year option allows you to choose a year between 1981 and 2022 you compare to this year's prediction. You can also adjust the temperature at which the tool displays first and last freezes of each season. The default is 28 degrees Fahrenheit. By selecting a different temperature, you will see the graphs change to show the first or last time in a given season that the overnight lows reached that temperature. Once you have completed the required steps and selected any optional inputs, you click this button to generate your forecast. So in this case, with a hybrid with 115 RM, or relative maturity, planted May 24th in Champaign, Illinois at the Crop Science Research and Education Center, the tool is predicting October 1st for our maturity date. You see as I scroll over this graph that a pop-up box shows up. This box will show you a number of pieces of data. The NOAA average indicates the GDDs that would be accumulated on October 1st using this NOAA forecast projection. The range of that forecast is shown next. In this case, we have 2,818 GDDs predicted to be accumulated by October 1st, triggering the forecast of maturity at that point in time. The 30-year average shows how many GDDs would be accumulated on October 1st if using average values from the last 30 years for GDD accumulation each day. You also see an analog here displayed here. This year is selected by the model to be most similar to the current year based upon weather that has happened to date, not projected weather. So up to this time, early August in 2024, the current weather has been most like 2017 in the last 30 years. And that's how the analog year is selected. You can also toggle off any of these elements in the legend above. Here's an example. Toggle off analog year. That line disappears. Bring it back. Another thing you can do with this output is see the GDD accumulation to date in the current year, represented by the blue line here. The projection takes over after we have current year data. You can also zoom in on any part of the season if you'd like. So let's zoom in here on this first part of the season. Really zoom in. You see here we started off pretty close to our 30-year normal, maybe a little below it at a bit, but then we've been above since then, and into the rest of the season, NOAA is showing us to be above the 30-year average, or a warmer than average year. If you toggle over to Seawharf, you see a similar trend, although even a bit higher. If we regenerate our forecast using the Seawharf model, we will see a slightly earlier maturity date projected. Thank you for watching this video. You can find additional training materials on the Dawn website's help section, which is found here. You can also learn about the other Dawn tools in the other videos in this series.